Hey everyone, I want to take a moment to talk about something really important: mental health and addiction. If you or someone you know is struggling with mental health or drug addiction, especially if they're facing chronic relapses or have a history of bouncing in and out of treatment centers, I want to recommend Baja Rehab. Baja is a premier lockdown treatment center located just 45 minutes from the San Diego border in beautiful Mexico. I've had the opportunity to visit their facility, and I can tell you firsthand it's not only stunning, but also equipped with everything needed for recovery. They offer comprehensive medical detox and have a dedicated team of drug counselors and specialized therapists. If you are ready to take the first step towards healing, call Shalom, the intake director, at 619-855-6368. That's 619-855-6368. Your loved ones deserve a second chance, so don't wait until it's too late. Reach out to Baja Rehab today. Nobody Plans on Dying has officially launched their nonprofit organization that is geared towards bringing awareness to this fentanyl overdose epidemic in the hopes of breaking cycles and saving lives. Join us in the premiere of the first documentary, June 21st, at the Digital Gym Cinema. Our goal is to bring this into every school to educate our youth and provide intervention services and resources that are so badly needed. Come support this mission. Gather in fellowship in the lobby following the documentary. Food, merchandise will be available. As a community, we can break the cycle by working together towards this common goal. If you have any teenagers, grab them a ticket and bring them out. If you've known anyone that lost their life to an overdose, then consider purchasing a ticket for yourself and making a small donation that could really make a difference. We are stronger together as a community to break these cycles and turn tragedy into purpose. Go visit the website nobodyplansondying.com to purchase your ticket and make a donation today. This is the Fuck Fentanyl guy letting you know if you or a loved one is injured in a motorcycle accident, then call 1-800-Lawtigers for a free case evaluation. We are available 24/7. That's 1-800-Lawtigers. With over $1.5 billion recovered in verdicts and settlements. Nobody got your back more than Lawtigers.
1, 2, now. Those 3+ years I was so proud of, and I threw them all away for 2 styrofoam cups. The irony. Everyone will think that he lied to me. Made my sobriety so public, there's no fucking privacy. If I don't talk about it, then I carry a date. A 08-10-08, then now it's been changed. And everyone that put me in some boxes is saying that I never was. Just a false prophet that never came. And will they think that everything that I've written has all been fake? Or will I just take my slip to the grave? What the fuck are my parents gonna say? The success story that got his life together and changed. And you know,
yeah, Macklemore.
Yeah.
Starting all over. Nice song. I like that one.
Me too.
My name is Luis Romero. I'm the Fuck Fentanyl guy, and this is the Fuck Fentanyl podcast. I have my friend Allison. How are you?
What's up? I'm good.
Hey, we're matching.
We are. No, right when I got out of my car, I was like, dude.
Yes.
We're matching. That's what's up. Yeah.
Oh, my God. Well, I've been looking forward for this one for a while.
Yeah, we tried to do it a couple times, I think, and
yeah.
I bitched out.
Hey, it happens.
Yeah.
It happens. This is literally like the week of like getting all like the people I've been trying to get on. Like,
Right.
This week is nuts. I got like everyone's like gonna follow through now, but it's
that's
cool.
good, right.
It's gonna be a good old week of recovery here.
Right. Perfect.
So Allison, where did you grow up at?
I grew up in Claremont.
Claremont.
Yep, I'm a Claremontster.
Nice.
Yeah, I grew up in Claremont. I have a brother and one sister.
Yeah.
My mom was a drug addict.
Uh-oh.
So I was like born into it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Right. I feel you.
Just like a bigger chance of like picking up and being an addict,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, dude, like my life was pretty stable until I didn't know any different, right? So So my mom like hiding out in her room and like getting irritated when I like knock on the door and shit like that was normal to me.
Right.
Having guys in the living room, normal to me.
Right. Yeah,
I didn't know any different, right? And so like growing up, I played sports.
Okay.
I played softball. I did cheerleading.
Oh, wow.
I still play softball.
Oh, you do?
I love softball, and I'm fucking really good at it. You know what I mean?
Right. Star athlete.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hell yeah.
But I didn't realize that my life was a little bit different from other kids until I went and like had my first sleepover, and like I seen like their family like sitting at the table and like eating dinner and praying and like I was like, what the fuck is this? You know?
Right.
But fucking anyways, like my life with my mom, we always lived with my grandparents in Claremont because she could never like stand on her own 2 feet. Like she held down a job, but like all her money went to dope.
Yeah.
Right.
So she needed help.
And she would like, she lived in a fucking camper in the backyard.
Really?
Yeah.
in your grandma's property?
Yes.
Oh, fuck.
Yes.
Nice.
And then I had my own room in the house.
Yeah.
But
she was cool with the camper.
She was cool with camper smoking.
Yeah.
Meth,
Right.
you know?
Right.
She was pretty cool out there. And then they like eventually like built on like a patio, and she like stayed on the patio, like enclosed gating. I don't even know.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
like a fort?
was just little fort, little tweaker fort.
Yeah.
But it was, my life was like all right.
Right.
But I always felt a little bit different, like the odd one out.
Sure.
You know, like I was a cool kid. I fit in. I chased the boys. I chased the girls.
Yeah.
Like I had a lot of good friends. But I just always felt something inside of me was just off, right? Like I was missing something. And they say in Narcotics Anonymous, you have that like God-sized hole.
Yeah.
You know, and I felt that growing up a lot, you know? But
Oh, I feel you.
yeah.
I feel you. And you're just kind of chasing around for validation and
validation and boys and girls. Very early on, I recognized my behaviors like as a kid, searching for that validation and you know being very like sexually promiscuous at a very young age,
right?
Like 9, 10 years old, you know, and I mean. Not the full thing, but like,
right.
But curious, like really, really curious, you know, and just wanting to fill that hole, wanting to, you know, fill that void. And I think your next question is going to be, when did you first start using drugs?
When did you start using drugs, Allison?
So. Yeah, I think I was in cheerleading and...
Oh, that's where it all starts.
And I had a sleepover with, like, my whole group.
Yeah.
My whole squad. And we had, like, coaches that were in high school.
Yeah. And
they brought us, like... Do you remember, like, the wine coolers, like Boone Farms?
Yeah.
Yeah. She brought Boone Farms, and I was, like, 10 years old. And...
It tastes pretty good when you're 10.
Yeah, and then like all my friends were like, "Oh my gosh, like you're gonna do that, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I drank, and I like kept drinking, and I kept drinking, and then my coach was like, "Oh, you're the lush. You're a lush." Oh, right. And
there was an adult that saw this and was like,
I don't know. She was 16, 17.
Okay.
She was still in high school.
I thought
you know
she
what I
was
mean?
adult.
No,
sorry.
but
I was like, fuck.
But this was all at my grandparents' house.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
I think my grandparents were probably out of town.
Yeah,
out
something.
Of state.
Yeah, they were gone.
But yeah, I remember drinking, and I just felt so good.
Yeah.
I loved it. And then, you know, after that, I started smoking weed. I was in a relationship with like my best friend's brother's best friend.
Okay.
and I was 10 years old, and I was dating
how old
a
was he?
13-year-old.
Oh, ooh.
You know, I mean, you think of the age gap.
No.
But it's kind of weird,
no,
right?
It is,
like
it
being
is.
a 10-year-old or 11-year-old, and you're dating somebody that's in middle school.
Yeah, now I think about that. Yeah,
that's kind of weird.
That is a little weird.
But I didn't find that weird. I was just like so in love, and he was smoking weed and selling weed, and so I started smoking weed.
Wow.
Probably about 11 years old.
Oh shit.
And it just like fucking progressed. I just remember like smoking weed, drinking, partying, like drinking in the canyon in Claremont, doing stupid shit, jacking bottles, like super young, bro. Like super young, like
10, 11 years old.
Like sixth grade, sixth grade, you know?
Elementary school.
Yeah. Like it's crazy. Like looking back at it, and like I have 3 children, and I couldn't even imagine them doing that at that young of an age, right? Doing the shit I was doing, you know? So, and then I met my first love.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to drop any names,
no,
but...
you don't need to. Not necessary.
Yeah. And I fell in love for the first time, and I was in 6th grade, and I would do anything for this guy, you know, and where I was partying with like older people, 16, 17, 18 years old, and I was at this one party, and me and this girl, we go drive to like Alcott Elementary, and we're like in the parking lot, and we're smoking shrooms, and I'm 12, and then she's like, "Hey, do you want a line?" I'm like, "A line of what?" And she was like, "Crystal." And I'm all, "Crystal? That sounds cool." You know?
The name does sound cool. Yeah,
that sounds pretty.
Yeah, they're pretty crystals. Yeah.
So I did my first line when I was 12 years old. And
wow.
It was off to the races.
Shit.
It was off to the races, dude. Wow. I used meth regularly. Probably like for you know, it was like ever so often,
right.
And then like once I was like 14, it was like almost every day.
Yeah, just straight fuck it.
I was running away from home.
Yeah.
But like my mom never chased me. There was only one time I could remember like her coming to track me down and like knocking on my friend's door and being like, "You need to come home."
Yeah.
But like I would be gone for weeks at a time, and like I was not noticed, you know, and forgotten or.
Did you think you wanted to be noticed? And like
absolutely. So I'm gonna back up a little bit.
Sure. No, go ahead.
I told you my mom like used meth.
Yes.
And I remember one time when I was younger, my grandparents told me my mom was sick. Yeah. She needed to go to the hospital and like go get help. Right. Yeah. And I remember feeling like devastated. No, I don't want my mom to go, you know, and that's when I kind of like was able to kind of put 1 and 2 together that like my mom is sick.
I see.
Is sick, right?
Yeah.
And then I used to find pipes around.
Yeah.
So I was like even more curious. And then once I was introduced to meth.
Right. Now you know.
And I seen people smoking it.
Yeah.
Right? And using the pipes that my mom uses, I'm like, oh,
10 to 2.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, oh shit, you know. I'm like, this must be so good because it takes her away from me. So like, I want to see what the fuck this is about, right?
Right.
So I think that's kind of like subconsciously of what was going on in my 12-year-old, 13-year-old mind was like, oh well, I'm gonna do what she's doing. Right? To see what's so great.
Follow the footsteps.
Yeah. Because it could go either way.
Yeah.
Right? So by 14, 15, I'm using meth almost every day. I'm still in school. I'm still pulling off like A's, B's, and C's.
Oh, that's pretty good.
And I thought like, I don't know, like if you ever thought that meth was like helping you be proactive?
No, unfortunately not. Unfortunately not. I was very unproductive. I've only done meth like a handful of times.
Oh, okay.
Meth was not. I did coke when I was younger. So just quick backstory. My uncle was a humongous tweaker, and
Right.
He acted out a lot and was in and out of prison and mental hospitals, and I had a disdain for meth. I was like, no, I'm never doing meth, never.
Right.
So, but I do everything else. I did coke, fucking ecstasy, weed, alcohol, and then heroin.
Right.
But when I was 19, I did meth for the first time, and then I did meth when it was around. So. But when I was on meth, God, dude, I never did anything cool or proactive or nothing. I just was like, I can't go to sleep. When I did my first quag, I fucking stayed up for 4 days.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm like, I just want to go to bed now.
Oh
No matter how much heroin I do, I'm just gonna stay up. Yeah, but
yeah. Well, when I did it,
you got shit done.
I was very proactive.
Like Adderall.
I was very proactive. So like. I got kicked out of schools. A lot of I got kicked out of Claremont. I got kicked out of Madison. I got kicked out of like the Madison diploma program for getting in fights, not being there. I used to get picked on a lot, and then I learned how to I realized I could fight.
Oh shit!
So
got hands.
Nobody fucked with me after I fucked up that one chick, right? They're like, oh, we don't want no problems.
You got a rep now.
Yeah. So I did have a reputation of don't fuck with her, And my boyfriend at the time, I'm still dating that guy that I fell in love with, right? He was very known in Claremont and and known for fucking people up, and he was cool and whatever,
a badass dude.
Badass dude with a badass chick, right?
Wow, yeah. How much older was he?
He's just 2 years older than me.
Oh, okay.
Right. But I lost my fucking train of thought.
You were getting into fights.
Getting into fights, getting kicked out. But when I was doing meth, I was being very proactive. So I was in a charter program.
Oh, no shit.
Homeschool.
No shit.
And they give you a packet and you're supposed to complete it in 3 weeks. And I was knocking a packet out every 2 weeks. So I was getting ahead. While I was doing meth and running the streets, and I don't know, but I was like, yeah, let's do meth and do homework,
At least you got shit done.
Yeah. But in this relationship that I was in, it became it was already toxic. It sounds
a little toxic.
It was already toxic, but it became he was controlling me, you can't go out, you can't go to parties, you can't do this, you can't do that, right?
You're my girl, you do what I say.
You're not getting high unless it's with me.
Oh God.
Type shit, He
sounds a little codependent. Fuck,
and
dude.
I listened to it for 12 years, but not without lying and doing my own shit, right? On the side.
Yeah.
And at 15, I got pregnant for the first time.
I see.
And I was fucking running amok. So I'm like, dude, I'm not having a baby.
Right.
So I have an abortion.
Yeah.
And then a year later, I get pregnant again at 16.
Oh, shit.
And I'm like, I'm not fucking,
yeah.
I'm still doing my thing. I can't have a kid.
Yeah.
No
way.
So I have another abortion. And then, a lot of shit happened when you're out there on the streets.
Right.
And what we do, run and gun. And at 17, I got pregnant again. This is all by the same guy.
Okay.
Don't think it's by multiple dudes.
No.
Just the
I
same
was
guy.
assuming it's the same person.
Same guy. And I got pregnant, and I don't know what happened, but I was like, I'm gonna fucking get clean. I don't.
Oh, really?
I don't want to fucking use anymore.
Yeah.
Right. So I just stopped smoking cigarettes. I quit doing dope. I quit smoking weed. I quit drinking. I quit doing meth.
Yeah.
All the things. At 17, and then I go to a pregnant minor program at Twain.
Oh no shit!
And it's a high school for pregnant minors.
Oh,
and I got my high school diploma, and I walked when I was 8 months pregnant, and then I had my first daughter, and I was able to stay clean for a while, and. For a couple years, but I wasn't in the program or anything.
It was just your daughter
white knuckling it. Yeah,
your daughter kind of inspired you.
Absolutely. But that comes along with getting pregnant. I gained a lot of weight.
Well,
a lot. like 80 pounds.
Oh,
yeah, I was big. I was big. And my baby dad would always be like, you know, talking down to me and
Really?
calling me fat and
What?
yeah.
What a fucking asshole, dude.
And just like making me feel bad about myself and then how the way that I looked.
That's not cool.
And he was like, well, why don't you just fucking smoke a little meth and like you lose some weight?
Oh my God.
And I was like, for sure.
Oh,
Let's do this. You know, just for a little bit till I lose some weight,
oh my
right?
God.
Like, I'm trying to...
Like, it's a diet supplement?
Yeah. But at this point, like, I didn't know recovery. So, like, I didn't know the obsession and the compulsion, right?
Yeah.
Like, I just thought... Because I was able to just stop when I got pregnant. So, like,
Yeah.
I could just stop again, right? Because I never
sure.
tried to stop before.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't have a reason to.
Yeah.
I was having fun,
so,
you know?
So the goal was to lose a little bit of weight with meth, and then you just drop it.
Yeah, I didn't stop.
That was the goal. That was the goal, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, I lost a gang of weight.
Oh,
So goal number 1 accomplished.
Yeah.
And then, but I wasn't able to stop.
Yeah.
You know, so I continued using meth, and I got pregnant again at 22. And this whole time I was like using after I had relapsed. I don't even know if I really call it a relapse because I wasn't in recovery, right?
Right.
I was just like clean.
Yeah, you were clean.
I was just clean.
Mm-hmm.
Clean and miserable.
and
And then I got pregnant again, and I like wasn't able to stop even though I wanted to. You know, and I wasn't able to stop getting loaded through my second pregnancy.
Wow.
And I got loaded the whole time behind closed doors. Nobody knew. Not my baby dad, not nobody. I would say I'm middlemaning like a transaction.
Sure.
You know? And by the grace of God, like my baby was born beautiful and amazing and healthy. And I got to go home with my baby.
Wow.
You know? And but I still wasn't able to fucking stop.
Right.
You know?
Right.
I was so miserable. And then my baby dad, he started using heroin.
Oh, shit.
He started snorting heroin.
Ooh.
And it was like, I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, I didn't know what it was.
Oh, really?
At
You haven't been
all?
exposed to it?
No, like never been exposed to it.
Shit.
I had no idea what it was at all. Like I had never even heard of it.
Was he doing like Carlitos, like the little...
I don't know. It was in like the nasal sniffer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it is, yeah.
And I didn't understand what it was. And then he started smoking it, and I could smell it. Right?
I hate
So I was like, oh my gosh, you've got to stop doing that shit. Like it stinks.
It stinks
like
bad.
And we're living in my grandparents' house. And my grandpa like had built on like another addition to my house and to his house for us.
Yeah.
I love him. Like he was like the dad that I didn't have, you know? And he starts doing heroin, and he starts like getting sick and stuff. And, excuse me.
No,
and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, you're such a pussy, dude. Just stop. You know? He's like, you don't understand. Like, I'm so fucked up. Like, I don't get it. You know? And I'm like, oh my gosh, you're such a baby. Right?
Wow.
But I didn't know.
Right. The dope
and
sick.
he had like stolen my car, stolen my money, like gotten physical with me. And the last time he got physical with me, like our baby was like in my arms.
Oh my God.
And I mean, it wasn't like crazy physical, but like crazy enough for me to be like, this is enough. I'm fucking done.
Yeah.
And after 12 years of us being together, I broke up with him. And, and I was such a spiteful person.
Sure.
I married his best friend. Like I did some fucked up shit, dude. You know, I married his best friend.
Oh my God.
And
he just dumped right on that. Like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Like my thinking was so fucked up, and I married him, and then like, but remember I talked about earlier, like how I was he kept me so like protected.
Oh, that's right.
Quote unquote.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, now I didn't have him feeding me the drugs. And then his best friend was just like crazy. Right. And good dude, but like crazy. And we got married, and he was in jail, and he's in jail. So I'm like out selling dope now. Now I'm selling dope
Yeah.
to like supply my own, my habit, and and I start stealing and like committing crimes and like getting involved in that aspect of it. And I get arrested the first time when I was like 22.
Oh shit.
And I spent my first night in like Las Colinas.
Oh
and,
God.
And it was not cool. It was not fun, but I thought it was so cool.
Oh yeah, I'm sure at the time.
You know?
Yeah. 22, like
Yeah, I thought I was cool. I was
Tough.
part of the cool kids club now.
Tough, you're tough and cool.
Yeah. Oh man, so stupid. So stupid. And I don't know, like in 2009 was the first time that I was like in Prop 36, PC 1000, Prop 36, like the progression of the court system.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
I remember that.
Because I kept getting arrested and like kept not getting clean. And in 2009 at Prop 36, I gave it a shot. And I tried to get clean, and I like started going to meetings.
Yeah.
And I just remember like walking into a meeting and sitting down and like listening to people talk and feeling at home. Right? At first I was kind of like, oh, this is kind of weird. But but the feeling deep down, I was like, okay, this is kind of like my people. Like, they were talking about the same kind of feelings that I'm feeling.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I was like really interested in it.
Right.
But I still had very bad behaviors.
Yeah.
Very bad behaviors. I'm still thinking I could sell dope and not get high. And that didn't last but like 4 months. And then like I had never like shot up before. And then like all of a sudden one day I was like, oh, I'm going to use needles and slam.
Whoa, okay. Just out of whim.
The progression.
Yeah.
The progression, right?
Let's go.
So it's getting worse.
Yeah.
It's getting worse. And then I get busted again in a stolen car and dope and money. And
not good.
Not good. And I get sentenced to drug court.
Oh, fuck. And that was drug court. Drug court. That was when it was really strict.
2013, I started my journey at drug court.
Nice.
And
shit.
It's an 18-month program.
Yeah.
And I didn't graduate until March of 2017.
Ah, 4 years.
So 4 years in drug court. Yeah.
Couple reinstatements.
Yeah. I did every sanction you can think of. They wanted to like terminate my probation.
Yeah.
Because my 3 years was up, and they were like, you can voluntarily extend and graduate, or you can walk away.
No.
But at this time, in drug court, I was in this relationship, and he was like cheating on me, whatever. I decided I'm gonna fucking take a bottle of vodka to the dome after not drinking for like a couple years, right?
Oh fuck.
And I black out, and my kids ran next door to our neighbors, and they call the police.
Wow.
So the cops show up, and I'm wasted. I'm drunk.
Yeah.
I can't. I remember coming to on the couch in my garage, and the police saying, "Come out with your hands up. We're gonna send the dogs in." Because I was hiding.
Fuck. Oh my God.
I was hiding. I was hiding in the fucking garage, drunk.
Nice.
I don't know where I thought I was gonna go. They were gonna find me. And then I come out, and they're like, "Do you want to hurt yourself or anybody else?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I want to kill myself. Like, I want to die."
Shit.
Right? I'm pretty sure it was the alcohol talking. And I think I really wanted to die.
I think so.
And then they put me in a cop car, and they
the rubber
5150 me at Grossmont.
Oh, okay.
Just the hospital.
Yeah.
And they take my kids, and this is the first time that like I lose my children to CPS.
Oh no.
Because of alcohol.
Shit,
like
right.
I hadn't.
Of all the things, right?
Yeah, right. And that's what I kept telling myself, like, fucking, I didn't even get loaded.
Nah.
Like I didn't even do meth or heroin. And it was just all bad. Yeah. I lost my kids, but in the process of me being in drug court, like I learned a lot about myself, and I knew that I couldn't like walk away from drug court after the 3 years because I was fighting for my children back, and I would do anything for my children to get them back into my lives, right?
Yeah.
In the midst of me being in drug court, I also had another baby I fraternized with another person and had a baby in drug court.
Oh shit.
And
drug court baby.
Yeah, drug court baby. And you know, I had lost all 3 of them, and they were in a foster home. And I did everything I could to like get them back. Like I didn't pick up, I didn't get loaded, I didn't drink, none of those things. And I eventually got my kids back after doing everything they needed me to do, right?
Yeah.
And then I graduated drug court in 2017.
Nice.
And somewhere in the midst, I started doing heroin. Like before I got into drug court. Because the guy I was hanging out with was selling it, and I wanted to try it.
Right.
And rest in peace, he's no longer here with us. You know, he died from an overdose. Yeah. So like, I don't know, I got my kids back, and I had got like these vouchers, and I had like this apartment, and I was doing really good. But I didn't know how to like reach out for help. Yeah. Right. So I have these 3 kids, and I'm like a single mom, and I don't know what to do. Like I'm overwhelmed. I'm working. Like I'm like taking them to school, picking them up, taking them to daycare, like doing all the things a single mom does, like trying to hold this household together. Yeah. But I can't even like cope myself. Right. So like, how am I taking care of these kids? They're not getting the best part of me. Yeah. And my best thought was like, I'm just going to get high once on some heroin. Just to like ease the fucking anxiety. Right.
Make the wheels stop.
Just going to do it once.
Yeah, just one.
Have you ever said that before?
Yes. Yeah. The last time I relapsed.
Yeah. Just going to do it once.
Walked 5 miles telling myself that.
Right?
Just one.
Just one time.
Just one.
Just one time. Well, needless to say, that one time turned into me buying a whole bunch of heroin and selling heroin and doing the most, selling meth, selling heroin, getting deep into the game, doing stupid shit.
Right.
You know, selling my body. Yeah. Doing things that are like out of my morals and my values.
Just keep it going.
Just to feel like I'm somebody and to get high, right? Right. Because I thought I was somebody.
Yeah. Right.
But I was nobody. You know?
The things we tell ourselves,
right?
You know?
And eventually, my dumbass, right? I'm seeing this guy, which is now like my fiance at the time.
Fiance?
I'm not seeing him. He has a girlfriend.
Oh, God.
And I'm sleeping with him. And he needs a ride to go pick her up from jail, right? And
what?
And I'm like, okay, I'm going to give you a ride. Like, I'm just your dope dealer, right?
Right. That's the surface.
Right? And I'm like, I'm just going to, I had no like strings attached. I was just like so disconnected from the world and my emotions. And I pull up in Las Colinas parking lot with like a pound of dope in my car, and there's like sheriffs waiting there, and they roll on me, and I get arrested, and I bail out. Yeah,
dude,
I bail out.
Did they give you in-house sales?
So I don't know. I don't even remember because I was so fucked up. God. I was so fucked up. Like they charged me with sales, like possession for sales, whatever.
Yeah.
On jail property.
Yeah.
But I bailed out, and then like 2 weeks later I like go back to court, right? Yeah. And they don't file. And I'm like, shit. What the fuck? Why aren't they filing? Like,
yeah.
And my friend's all, you're burnt.
You're burnt.
You're burnt, right? 2 weeks later, the DEA and everybody hit my house, you know, and they found more dope and more money. And
oh, God.
And the feds picked up my case, and you know, I got indicted, and I got sentenced to 63 months in federal prison, and lost my kids again.
Oh, fuck.
You know? And at this point in my life, like, I was so tired of losing everything, like, over and over and over again. Just, like, watching my children be put through the ringer, and I'm at Geo downtown, and that place is a fucking shithole.
Oh, God, yeah.
It's like a dungeon. Yeah. Like, you're in the dark all day and all night, right?
Oh, God, it's the worst.
And it smells like
ass.
I was going to say something else, but yeah, ass,
no matter
right?
No matter how, like, ventilated it is, it still smells like ass.
It smells horrible, and I just remember, like, fuck, I did it again, dude. Like, I'm here again without my kids, like hopeless, desperate. I didn't even know what I was facing at the time. Like, I just thought I could get drug court again.
Yeah.
You know, I was fucking delusional because I didn't realize like federal charges or they don't fuck around.
Yeah, yeah, they're a little different.
You get time.
Yeah,
especially if you're a reoffender.
Yeah, they give you all your time too.
Yeah,
they're so generous.
Yeah,
they like to give 85%.
85%. Yeah,
or sometimes 100.
Yeah,
if you're really special.
If you're really special. Well, I was the feelings I was feeling were, you know, hopeless, desperate. I just was so tired. And I waited 11 months to get sentenced. And in the meantime, I'm like still talking to my children as much as I possibly could with where they were at, like in the system. And I remember like just calling them and talking to them. And like, it's like, Mommy, I miss you. Mommy, I miss you. Mommy, I need you. And just like, fuck, something's got to change, dude. And it's got to be me. You know, and I was tired of repeating the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, right? The fucking insanity.
Right.
And, God, I got sentenced to 63 months.
Okay.
And
some time right there.
Yeah. And at this point, my kids were, I think, like 15, 11, and 5.
Okay.
In that range. And my 5-year-old, you only get so much time to like reunite when your kid is like a certain age.
Yeah.
My older ones, they were able to be placed in a foster home and be housed together. My son was housed with them for a little bit, but 3 kids was like a lot to be housed at one house.
Yeah, of course.
So they eventually got separated, and my son, Landon, he got adopted out when I was in prison. Okay. And, you know, the whole time I was in prison, I didn't get loaded.
Yeah.
I didn't pick up.
That's huge.
I didn't fucking get loaded, even though I could have.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, so I knew when I got there, like, something's got to change. Like, I'm not fucking doing this shit again.
Yeah.
You know? So that's something switched in me when I was in jail and in prison. And I don't know, call it a higher power, call it God, call it pulling my head out of my ass.
Right.
You know? I don't know. But, like, something changed. And even though, like, my son got adopted, I was still able to, like, conversate with him and have video visits with him and stuff. And also with my other children, my other son and my other daughter.
Yeah.
I was able to like continue on those relationships, but a lot went down with them. Like they went through so much, like when I was in prison and going through their mental health issues and like dealing with life without me at like very important times in their lives. Right.
Yeah. Right.
So I just knew that when I got out, like I was going to hit the ground running to do whatever I had to do to get my children back. I knew I wasn't going to reunite with my youngest, but I still have 2 other children that like are depending on me, right?
Of course.
And I still have hope today, like somewhere down the line, like my son will come back into my life. My son Landon.
Absolutely.
I have my other son Koa and my other daughter Kiani in my life, and they're amazing, and they are what keep me going, you know. And
you have a good relationship with both of them.
I do. I have Kiani. We grew up together. I had her when I was 17, so like I put them through a lot, you know. Like my kids raised my kids.
Yeah, I feel you.
You know, and they got to experience me being clean and me being loaded and me being clean and me being loaded and me being clean.
Right.
Like not very stable, right?
Right.
But like kids are so resilient and they're so forgiving. Like I'm like, dude, I held on so much resentment for my mom, like for so long. and they were like, welcome home, like hugged me. I'm sure they have like a lot of
Sure.
hurt and stuff, but like we have a great relationship today.
That's amazing.
Not without struggles,
Of
know.
course,
What I
of
mean?
course. I mean,
Not without struggles.
Goes with the territory.
Yeah. So when I got out, I got out March 1st of 2022.
Okay.
And I went to a halfway house and like I fucking got a job, folding laundry at a hotel.
Oh shit, yeah.
Did what I had to
That's a
do.
great first job out of prison. That's right.
Folding towels and folding sheets.
Yeah.
And then and then I was doing like security at events.
Oh, really?
On the weekends.
Like elite?
Yeah. Kind of. It wasn't elite, but yeah, kind of like that.
Similar.
And I started going to meetings like when the halfway house would let me, and I got a sponsor, and I started working steps, and I started building my fellowship of people in the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous. And
awesome.
And by the grace of God, like when I got out, like a couple of my friends had like gotten clean too.
Yeah.
That
I know a couple of them.
Right. So it's really a cool experience to like be able to like walk through the trenches with people and then cross over to the other side.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
Life started getting better, and I just still fought and like did everything I needed to do to get like my son Koa back. My oldest had already aged out.
Oh,
so
she 18.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she is doing amazing, and she still chooses to live with the foster parents that she was with.
Mm-hmm.
But I have my son Koa back in my life, and he lives with me.
That's awesome.
And I just pray for the day that I'm able to reunite with my son Landon. Yeah. But like, I did everything I needed to do, and I got really immersed into Narcotics Anonymous, and I started doing some work on myself.
Yeah.
And I started seeing like these character defects.
Yeah.
And that realizing that like I can't, like, my thing was like I took so much blame. Right?
Yeah.
That was like a pattern. Like, yeah, I did it. Yeah, I fucked up. Yeah, I fucking did all that shit. That's on me. That's on me. That's on me. Mm. Like, I needed to separate some stuff, and kind of like keep what was mine, and then like,
I see.
Let the other person take responsibility.
I see.
For their part. But all I can do is take responsibility for my part in my life.
Absolutely.
And that like helped me, and I did steps 1 through 10 with an amazing sponsor, and then I fucking drank, bro.
Oh yeah.
I fucking drank.
Yeah. It happens.
I wasn't working on shit like internally as much as I said I was.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm a fucking addict.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
You just said it right there.
And I was like, I want to have a glass of wine with my dinner.
Yeah.
I've never done that. I've never tried wine.
I never
right?
got a chance.
Yeah. And that got into my head, and I didn't fucking speak about it. Mm-hmm. And then I acted on it.
I see.
And I drank wine, which I thought was like, oh, I could be normal.
Yeah, wine. Fancy.
Fancy. Fucking have wine with dinner.
Yeah.
And I did it for like 2 months, and it didn't like, I didn't want to go get loaded like on heroin or meth or anything, but like I did look forward to it.
I see.
For that escape.
Yeah.
To take the edge off.
Yeah.
Instead of using my tools and like my coping skills that I had picked up in NA, or like reaching out and talking to people and like, showing up for others and like being of service to others to get out of my own shit and stop being selfish. Right. I don't know. Like I started fucking drinking, and then I missed my people. And like when I started to drink, I told my sponsor and I told my support group, and they were like, we'll be here for you when you get back. We love you.
I see.
Right? If you want to go to a meeting, like we'll be there for you.
Yeah.
So like I didn't lose my people, but like I'm not going to meetings anymore. I'm not showing up to like events anymore because I'm fucking at home and I'm embarrassed and I'm ashamed.
Yeah.
And I don't want to show face.
I feel you.
But I didn't like the way I was feeling, and I missed my people, and I missed the life that I had built. And I worked so hard to build. And so I reached out and I went to a fucking meeting and I announced myself as a fucking newcomer.
Yeah.
6 months ago and 8 days.
Wow.
You know, so.
It's fucking awesome. 6 months and 8 days?
Yes.
Here.
There we go.
Yeah, there you go. You got it.
Yeah. So, you know, it's been really hard. It's a hard pill to swallow because I had 5.5 years.
Yeah.
But, you know, all my friends and all my support group tell me that, you know, you didn't lose your recovery. You just lost your date.
Right.
But I didn't want to fucking lose my date.
Yeah, I know. It's precious.
Know?
It's a precious thing.
It was. But you know what? This one's going to be better.
Absolutely.
This one's going to be better. And I don't know what's different this time around. I did get a new sponsor. But it has been rough getting going again.
Yeah. I can feel that.
You know, and just because I am so ashamed. Yeah. And I'm hoping that like by sharing my story, like maybe there's somebody out there that feels the same way.
Absolutely.
But like you just don't fucking pick up, right? You don't fucking drink and you don't fucking drug and you don't fucking do stupid shit. Okay, maybe we do some stupid shit. But we try to be the better person tomorrow than we were yesterday. Yeah. You know, and I just finished my second semester of school at Southwestern with a 4.0 GPA.
Damn,
I know. I'm so stoked.
Hell
like
yeah.
life is going good because of the things that I'm doing, right? Because my higher power's got my back and because my God knows that like I have a bigger purpose than just to like run in circles and chase a high.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to find that purpose. I know that I want to help other women transition from prison into society. Yeah. So I'm focusing on like restorative justice and reentry and things like that. I don't know what's going to stick and stay, but I know that my story can help somebody else.
Absolutely can.
And give somebody else hope, right?
Absolutely.
Because if I can stay clean, and then so could the next person. And if I could come back after fucking up again, you know, then maybe somebody else can come back again.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
absolutely. You have nothing to be ashamed about.
I know.
Just let me just say that.
Thanks.
What you're doing is an amazing thing.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? And I know for sure I relate to, you know, because I just been complacent. I had a good like 8 years of just doing my own thing. I just didn't pick up. I just did my own thing.
Right.
And I had to find a new sponsor, and I was fucking embarrassed as fuck to go, I haven't done steps since I got out of rehab.
Right.
But you know, it's like you just get back at it.
Yeah.
Don't think about it. Just do it.
Right.
That's what I did. I mean, that's like the best advice I can give when it comes.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad I did.
Good.
And you know, and it got me to kind of calm down my ego because that can get out of hand even when you're sober.
Right.
And got me to connect with more people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's like, you know, I just watched this fucking. It's kind of corny, but I watched this video where it was like the opposite of addiction is connection.
So true though.
Yeah, it's so true. It's so true. And like, I can't remember the guy's name. He's from England. He has an accent. But it was really on point. I was like, yeah, that's it.
It is because when we're in our addiction, we're so isolated and detached from reality.
Right.
That, you know, and in recovery, it's like all about that connection with your higher power
Yes.
and like connection with others and
Yes.
being of service to others and those connections, those relationships. And the relationships I've found since I've been clean are so beautiful. Like I have never in my addiction I never had people like, well, one of them, two of them were still there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
like now that I'm clean and I have those relationships and those connections that are so strong and so like pure, and there's no like motive and, you know, what do you got for me?
Right.
Type
Transactional.
shit.
Yeah.
It's so worth it.
Absolutely.
That alone, the connection with my children is that alone is like worth fucking staying clean for.
Yes.
You know?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Allison.
Absolutely.
really
It was a
love this.
pleasure.
I'd love to do a follow up with you too. You know
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah.
All righty. All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.